the most underrated era in history. Throughout history, certain periods have been glorified while others have been forgotten, overshadowed by grander narratives. But what if I told you that one of the most pivotal, transformative, and unjustly overlooked eras was the Islamic Golden Age, 8th to 14th centuries? Setting the stage, the birth of an intellectual renaissance. Imagine walking through the bustling streets of Baghdad in the 9th century, a city of knowledge, filled with scholars, merchants, and travelers from all corners of the world. The air is thick with the scent of spices, ink, and parchment. Inside the majestic halls of the House of Wisdom, scribes meticulously translate ancient texts, while mathematicians debate the mysteries of the universe. At a time when much of Europe was fragmented and plagued by conflict, the Islamic world thrived as a hub of knowledge, cultural exchange, and scientific progress. This intellectual revolution was fueled by a thirst for understanding and a deep respect for ancient knowledge, particularly from Greek, Persian, and Indian sources. But this wasn't just about preserving knowledge. It was about expanding it, reshaping the way we understand the world even today. Key innovations that shaped our world, mathematics and astronomy. Al-Khwarizmi, a scholar at the House of Wisdom, developed algebra, a fundamental branch of mathematics. His work laid the foundation for everything from engineering to finance. Meanwhile, Muslim astronomers improved upon Greek and Indian models, creating detailed celestial maps that guided sailors long before Columbus set sail. The invention of the astrolabe, an early navigation tool, revolutionized travel and exploration, medicine and science. Imagine a time when disease was often met with superstition rather than science. Yet in the Islamic Golden Age, scholars like Avicenna, Ibn Sina, and Al-Razi were pioneering advanced medical techniques. Ibn Sina's Canon of Medicine was a medical encyclopedia that became a standard textbook in European universities for centuries. Meanwhile, Ibn al-Nafis described pulmonary circulation, the movement of blood through the lungs, hundreds of years before it was rediscovered in the West. Engineering and invention. The world we live in today, filled with automation and mechanical wonders, owes much to the genius of Banu Musa, three brothers who designed some of the earliest known automatic machines, including a programmable musical device. Their inventions hinted at the concept of robotics centuries before the modern age. Optics and physics. The idea that we perceive objects due to light reflecting into our eyes seems obvious today, but in the 11th century, it was groundbreaking. Ibn al-Haytham was a pioneer in optics, laying the foundation for the modern understanding of vision. His experiments with light and lenses eventually contributed to the development of the camera centuries later. Arts, architecture, and literature. The influence of the Islamic Golden Age is visible in the intricate designs of the Alhambra, the mesmerizing patterns of Persian carpets, and the poetic brilliance of Rumi and Omar Khayyam. The stories of the Arabian Nights, tales of adventure, magic, and wisdom, captivated the world and continue to inspire literature and film today. The intriguing secrets and lost knowledge. One of the most fascinating aspects of this era is the hidden manuscripts, thousands of scientific and philosophical texts still buried in archives around the world. Many of these writings challenge the conventional timeline of scientific discoveries. What if the knowledge of flight, electricity, or even early forms of computing had been explored centuries before we think? Another mystery surrounds the sudden decline of the Golden Age. How could a civilization so advanced in knowledge and culture begin to fade? Some historians point to the Mongol invasions, which led to the destruction of Baghdad and the burning of the House of Wisdom. Others cite internal strife, religious conservatism, and colonial interventions that hindered scientific progress. Why was this era overlooked? Despite its brilliance, the Islamic Golden Age was overshadowed due to several factors. Eurocentrism, the Renaissance and Enlightenment movements often disregarded non-European contributions, instead presenting scientific progress as a uniquely European achievement. Colonial narratives. The 19th and 20th centuries saw a deliberate erasure of Islamic scientific and cultural advancements in favor of Western-centric historical narratives, political and religious shifts. As powerful empires fractured and new rulers sought to consolidate control, intellectual inquiry often took a back seat to political survival. The legacy and relevance today. The legacy of the Islamic Golden Age is still felt in modern science, medicine, and technology. Every time we use an algorithm, a term derived from Al-Khwarizmi's name, rely on scientific methods pioneered by Ibn al-Haytham, or appreciate medical advancements rooted in Avicenna's work, we are standing on the shoulders of this extraordinary era. But the story is not over. Even today, hidden texts continue to be discovered, challenging established narratives and offering glimpses into a past richer and more interconnected than we ever imagined. What secrets still remain locked in the ancient libraries of Timbuktu, Cairo, or Istanbul? And what would history look like if this era had continued to flourish uninterrupted? The next time you hear about the Renaissance or the Industrial Revolution, remember that history is not a straight line. It is a web of influences, connections, and lost opportunities. The Islamic Golden Age was not just an era of preservation, but of radical innovation, one that deserves far more recognition than it has received.